Good morning. Good morning. It's Friday. I hope you are all doing well. It looks like we will be getting part of that tropical storm Faye, I think is what it's called today. So it might just be a great day to stay home and watch a movie, read a book. I was reading a devotional yesterday that talked about how to live in this time we are experiencing, where everything is changing daily, and how in these times of uncertainty, it's so often unclear what to do. And I started wondering, how do we live in this crazy, shifting world? How do we respond to a pandemic? How do we fight racism? How do we muddle through when life is overwhelming? How do I minister to my family and my congregation? In short, how do we keep moving ahead when we can't see the way and we don't know what to do? I mean, as we find ourselves in a world suffering from racial injustice and profound inequality, as well as the most significant health and economic crisis of our lifetime, it's unusual if you don't have some feelings of fear for the future. Navigating through these turbulent times can be overwhelming, even paralyzing. Thankfully, God doesn't want us to look too far ahead, and actually gave us a pretty clear idea of how we are to live during this unusual and extraordinary time. In fact, he gave the prophet Micah some really good advice in verse 6. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Now, we usually read that as a reminder to be just and merciful, and rightly so. But the final line of the passage, walk humbly with God, is really the answer. See, when life in big and small ways is uncontrollable, and when the path forward is uncertain, we are reminded of the call to simply and humbly walk forward one step at a time, trusting that God's with us. See, it's not for us to find or know the ultimate answers as much as we wish we did. It's for us to simply follow. And when we do that, when you ask God to simply lead you, a crazy thing happens to feelings of fear and anxiety. They get replaced by faith and praise and certainty and trust. But honestly, I'm still learning this lesson myself. After years of walking with God, anxiety still rears its ugly head sometimes. But when I feel anxious and overwhelmed, I get myself to a quiet place. I sit there for a while, reminding myself of what I know to be true rather than what I feel at that moment. And one of my favorite scriptures to ponder on is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. And I love the version you find in the Message. It says, trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Isn't that awesome? And every time I read that, I think, why do I ever worry? Because my God and yours is working everything out. He knows and sees it all even when we don't. You know, it's easy, so easy, to get distracted by the future. We humans love to know what's coming down the road and even play a part in it. But God is only calling us to the next step. And we have to have the faith to trust we can take those steps and no more. And as we do, little by little, he rolls back the road and we see the path a bit better and realize as we look back how far we have come. And that's what gives us the confidence we need to keep going. So I've decided that the best way to live during this time is the way God instructed Micah, to seek justice for everyone, to show mercy whenever and wherever I can, and to walk one step at a time with God, no more, no less. And as I'm doing that, to keep on loving well. Yeah, with no limits or barriers or prerequisites. So, my friends, be encouraged today, knowing that in the midst of uncertainty, God is simply calling you to love each other well too, and to trust Him simply one step at a time. Now stay safe, stay inside, wear your mask, and keep washing those hands. Remember to find the blessing, and know that I love you and I'm praying for you every day. Keep walking in hope, one step at a time. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.